They say Johannesburg never sleeps. But deep beneath its glowing skyline, a spirit stirs, an ancient soul watching every move, waiting for the right moment to rise again. What happens when one curious journalist decides to chase a legend too far? You're about to find out. The night was young in Johannesburg. Traffic hummed like bees over the Nelson Mandela Bridge, and the skyline shimmered like stars had descended to Earth. But inside the dusty archives of South African Herald, journalist Thandi Molefe sat hunched over her desk, chasing a ghost. Literally. She'd stumbled upon it by accident. An anonymous letter with no return address, sealed with a strange wax symbol, a bird flying upside down. If you value truth, seek the laughing shadow beneath the city. Begin where the gold was first stolen. Thandi stared at the cryptic message. What was a laughing shadow? She'd grown up in Joburg, loved its chaos and charm. But this felt different. It was the kind of mystery her late father used to talk about, back when he was still a treasure hunter. The next morning, curiosity beat caution. She followed the clue to Longlaagte, the place where Johannesburg's gold rush began in 1886. The abandoned shafts were off-limits, sealed since the early 2000s, but she slipped past rusted fences and found something strange. Laughter, echoing, underground. But she was alone. Thandi descended with only a flashlight, stepping carefully over collapsed beams and loose stone. The deeper she went, the stronger the whispers became, like old miners telling jokes in a language only the dead understood. Then she saw it, a mirror, just sitting there, standing upright in a stone alcove nearly 200 meters underground. Not dusty, not cracked, perfectly clean. She approached it and gasped. Her reflection wasn't alone. Behind her stood a tall, faceless man in an old miner's uniform. She spun around. Nothing. But in the mirror, he was laughing, his mouth stretching unnaturally wide. She fled. Back in daylight. Her phone buzzed. An unknown number. One message. Now you've seen him. He sees you. Things got stranger after that. She dreamed of laughter echoing through her apartment. She'd wake up gasping. Always at 2:13 a.m. mirrors began to fog over without steam. Sometimes she'd swear they were whispering her name. Terrified but obsessed, Thandi dug deeper into Joburg's underground tales. She found an old urban myth whispered by miners long ago, Umlingo Wisathunzi, or the magic of the shadow. According to legend, during the gold rush, a powerful Sangoma named Mkulu Baka Baka cursed a British mining baron who had enslaved African workers. The curse trapped the man's soul underground, doomed to wander as a laughing shadow, feeding on greed and deceit. They said he showed himself only to those who were worthy of knowing the truth. Find the seventh mirror, the letter had said. There were 6 mirrors placed in Johannesburg's historical zones. The 7th? No one knew, until she met Solly Dlamini. Solly was a former historian turned street preacher. He lived under the M1 highway, and his reputation was legendary. Half genius, half madman. She found him burning sage, wearing robes, drawing symbols in chalk on the pavement. You want to know about the laughing one? He asked before she even spoke. Thandi froze. Solly grinned, revealing missing teeth. He's awake again. You woke him, didn't you? She nodded. He turned serious. Only one mirror left, hidden in the place where time stands still. Where's that? She asked. Under the old Carlton Hotel, where the walls still breathe. She had no idea what he meant, but she knew where to go next. The Carlton Hotel, once a palace of the elite, had been abandoned for decades. Dust-covered furniture, shattered chandeliers, echoes of champagne parties gone by. Thandi broke in one rainy evening. It smelled like rotten memory. She wandered from room to room until she reached the ballroom, and there it was, the 7th mirror, massive, grand, framed in twisted gold, covered in a white sheet. She hesitated, then pulled the cloth down, and screamed. The face looking back wasn't hers. It was a warped version, smiling too wide, eyes empty. It laughed silently, then pointed behind her. She turned and saw herself standing there, Only the self had hollow eyes, dripping black tears. Darkness swallowed the room. Thandi woke in a strange place, not the ballroom. A twisted version of Johannesburg. Skyscrapers bent sideways. Cars hovered without motion, and shadows whispered. She had crossed into the other side. She wandered the city of illusions, chased by shadowed figures wearing minor helmets, always laughing. The sky pulsed red. Time didn't move. In the distance, a single voice cried out, "Thandi!" It was her father. She followed the sound, ducking through alleys that bent like mazes. Finally, she reached the Golden Gate. Her father stood inside, glowing. "This is not your story to finish," he said. "You must bring balance. Tell the truth." "What truth?" she begged. He pointed to the sky. A vision appeared. Johannesburg's riches built on blood. Workers buried alive. Families destroyed. Greed fed the curse. And now, the city's spiritual heart was dying. Only one could save it. The one who saw the seventh mirror. Thandi awoke in the Carlton again, gasping, sweating. The mirror was shattered, but something had changed. She could now see things. Shadows around greedy people, laughter around lies, whispers from places no one noticed. She wrote the full story, names, maps, locations. She published it as The Laughing Shadow of Johannesburg. It went viral. People began visiting the old mine shafts, leaving offerings. Sali Dlamini led cleansing rituals. The city buzzed with energy and fear. The government denied it all, of course, until one night a video surfaced online. A politician caught on CCTV, talking to no one, but laughing, a deep, eerie laugh, then collapsing. Heart stopped. People began to believe. Months passed. Thandi's story made her famous. She toured universities, wrote a book. Johannesburg seemed lighter. Then came another letter. Same wax seal. This one said, "You fed him well. He thanks you. You told the story. Now, he will write the ending." Terrified, she ran to Sali's usual spot. He was gone. In his place, a mirror, cracked. She looked into it and saw Johannesburg, beautiful, busy, but behind every person, a shadow, smiling, laughing, not gone, waiting. What would you do if the city you lived in was watching you? Johannesburg isn't just lights and noise. It's a living memory. And some memories don't stay buried. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more mysterious tales.